What's a short, clean joke that gets a laugh every time?
What's long, brown, sticky, and found on the ground outside? That's my favorite grade school friendly joke smile. What do you say when a quarter of your roof falls on your head? Oof. Did you hear about the guy that pitched his tent on the stove? He wanted a home on the range. Did you hear about that actress who stabbed somebody? Her name is Reese, I can't remember her last name. What do you call a German barber? Hairdresser. My family is German speaking. They love this one. Why did the chicken cross the playground? To get to the other slide. How do you catch a unique rabbit? Unique up on it. How do you catch a regular rabbit? Unique up on it, too. Grandpa, what are some things you lose as you get older? Two things. First is your memory. I can't seem to remember the other. Credit for the next two to the legendary Mitch Hedberg. I used to smoke cigarettes. I still do, but I used to, too. What do you do when an escalator breaks? Hang a sign that reads, "Escalator temporarily stairs." What are you doing when you bump into Dwayne Johnson's butt? You're touching rock bottom, smiley face. What you call two guys with no arms or legs hanging in your window? Kurt and Rod. Where does the general keep his armies? In his sleeves. Are you alright? No, I'm all left. I don't know the best thing about Switzerland, but the flag is a big plus. I sing oldies in the local pub sometimes. The other night a bloke said to me, "Hey, aren't you the one who does the Neil Diamond songs?" "I am," I said. Q, what did Yoda say when he saw himself in 4K? A, HDMI. Is this felt? Feels shirt? No? It is now. My grandma likes it at least. How many tickles does it take to tickle an octopus? 10 tickles. My 3-year kid's first joke: why did the banana go to the hospital? Because it wasn't peeling well. When I die I want to go like my granddad, peacefully in his sleep, not yelling and screaming like the other 3 people in the car. You really got to exercise. My grandmother started walking 2 miles a day when she was 60. Today she is 85. I have no clue where she is. Why does a chicken coop have 2 doors? If it had 4 doors, it would be a chicken sedan. What do float plane pilots call kayaks? Speed bumps. What do you call a cow with 2 legs? Lean beef. What do you call a cow with no legs? Ground beef. What do you call a deer with no eyes? No idea. Can February march? No, but April may. I got hit on the head by a bottle of omega-3 tablets, but it's okay, it was just a super fish oil injury. When I was in B&Q the other day, a man in an orange apron came up to me and asked me if I wanted decking. Luckily I got the first hit in. I went to a zoo the other day, all they had was 1 dog. It was a Shih Tzu. My dad once told me, the sky's the limit. Great man. Sucked at math though. What's the difference between a terrorist and a tenured professor? You can negotiate with a terrorist. Trust me, that one kills in academia. A pirate walks into a bar and the bartender says, "You have a steering wheel sticking out of your pants." The pirate replies, "Yeah. It's driving me nuts." A fish runs into a wall and says, "Damn. Why do chicken coops have 2 doors? If they had 4, it'd be a chicken sedan." What's the difference between an onion and an accordion? No one cries when you cut up an accordion. Q, what do you call a boomerang that doesn't come back? A stick. The interrupting cow knock knock joke gets me every time. What do you call a smart dinosaur? A thesaurus. What's brown and rhymes with Snoop? Dr. Dre. A priest, a minister and a rabbit walk into a bar. Bartender turns to the rabbit and asks, "What do you have?" The rabbit said, "How am I supposed to know? I'm only here because of autocorrect." Why do seagulls live by the sea? Because if they lived by the bay, they'd be bagels. Bagels, smiley face. This usually gets a laugh when I tell it. 2 cannibals are eating a clown and one says to the other, "This taste funny to you?" What did one eye say to the other eye? "Between you and me, something smells." What are Mario's overalls made out of? Denim 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 said to the tune of the opening notes of level 1 to 2. Easter jokes. Question, what's invisible and smells like carrots? Answer, bunny farts. Question, why does the Easter bunny hide Easter eggs? Answer, he doesn't want anyone to know he's having an affair with a chicken. If life gives you melons, you might be dyslexic. Two peanuts were walking down the street. One of them was assaulted. Two fish are in a tank. One turns to the other and says, "Do you know how to drive this thing? If you want to smoke but you don't have a way to light it, just take one out of the pack, it'll become a cigarette lighter." I met my wife in Spain. I said, "Wow, what are you doing here? You wanna know the secret to good humor? Wait for them to start to respond, interrupt them with timing." I didn't sign my kids to orchestra. Why would I want to expose them to sax and violins intentionally? The bartender says, "I'm sorry, but we don't serve faster than light particles here." A tachyon walks into a bar. What was the difference between Rush Limbaugh and the Hindenburg? One was a flaming Nazi gas bag and the other one was a Zeppelin. What did the left eye say to the right eye? "Between you and me, something smells." What's the difference between a Zippo and a hippo? One's a little lighter. My favorite Stuart Francis one-liner is, "I used to be in a band called Missing Cat, you probably saw our posters as well as. At school all the other kids used to push me around and call me lazy. I love that wheelchair." A man walks into a bar and says, "Ow. What's brown and sticky?" "A stick." This is all great. Where do fish keep their money? The riverbank. How do you get holy water? You burn the hell out of it. What's brown and sticky? A stick. At the end of the day, it's night. Why do you never see elephants hiding in treetops? Because they are really good at it. At times I feel like a wigwam, and at times like a teepee. Clearly I'm too tense. Friday is always the happiest day of the weekend. Because the next day is always a sadder day. Why don't skeletons fight each other? They don't have the guts. Horse walks into a bar. Bartender says, "Why the long face?" My calculator broke when I dropped it down the stairs. It was wrong on so many levels. What do you call a porcupine that loses a race? Slowpoke. What's the difference between beer nuts and deer nuts? Beer butts cost $1.50, whereas deer nuts only cost $1. Why don't clams make charitable donations? Because they're shellfish. Where do you weigh a whale? In a whaleway station. But if you weigh a whale in a whaleway station, where do you weigh a by? Greater than somewhere over the rainbow. What's the rabbit's favorite type of music? Hip hop. My grandfather always said whenever one door closes another one opens. Wonderful man, terrible cabinet maker. What do you call it when Harrison Ford has a calcium deficiency? Kidney stones. What's a pirate's favorite letter? A pirate accent, you'd think so, but 'tis the C they love. Got a lucky setup this week when I was covering a meeting for my boss. Looks like we have Pickham standing in for his group. "You know your boss normally tells a joke," I said. "I'm already here, we don't need another joke." Good laughs all around. Did you hear about that guy who's being possessed by an owl? Why did the chicken go to the seance? To get to the other side. What car does an egg drive? A Volkswagen, say it in a German accent. Why would the Titanic be afraid of a pile of lettuce? It's all iceberg, embarrassed smiley face. I used to be addicted to soap. I'm clean now. Why are geometry nerds so good at farming? Because they have protractors. You ever hear about the restaurant on the moon? Delicious, but there's just no atmosphere. I have the best knock-knock joke, but you have to start it. Why do they put fences around cemeteries? Because people are just dying to get in. I don't like turtlenecks, 'cause when you wear a turtleneck it's like you're getting strangled by a really weak guy. So, a fart is the best joke that is never spoken. Why does the ocean roar? You'd roar too if you had crabs on your bottom. How does a barber cut the moon's hair? Eclipse it. Preachers do more than lay people. What do you call a belt with the clock? Waste of time. Two fish in a tank, one turns to the other and says, "You drive, I'll man the cannon." What kind of mushroom walks into a bar and buys everyone a shot? A fungi. What screen and eats nuts? Syphilis. When someone says anything about being deaf and you say what? You ever worry about dangerous vapors? Me neither. Baby seal walks into a club. Gay priest says amen. Have you heard about the new corduroy pillows? They're making headlines.